Howdy folks, I'm StacheDad and I'm back with another episode of Contradiction, and we're past 9 p.m. now. Last time, we learned about how guilty Emma feels about what she thinks is her involvement with Liam's suicide, but in my opinion, I very much doubt she actually had much to do with it. But this time, we're going to get into it. This is one of my favorite hours in the game, and I'm just excited to go. I want to go to Atlas first. Boxes.
That'll come in handy. Don't know why I never remember to buy one.
Jinx, that doesn't belong to you. That's theft, Jinx. Did you see his smile? He's so pleased with himself with his thefts. Every time. What do we have
Looks
here?
like junk, but it's too dark to tell.
Too dark to tell? Pots and pans. And a chair. And a random envelope.
Well. And there's the mask symbol again. Looks like someone's been trying to make a point.
Once again, it looks like After Effects did as much as it could. Alright, so let's just head to this side of town and work our way to the right. James, do you know anything about car photos? You don't strike me as the type to have
Ask
a car.
about a few more things, please.
I'll just be honest. You know anything about this flashlight I just stole?
Know anything about these?
Nope. Well, as always, it's been lovely talking to you, James. I doubt you know anything. Yep, I didn't think
Thank
so.
you. Probably be back later.
Sometimes I don't even know why they bothered to film responses for him. And are you willing to talk to me now?
Couple
Oh,
more
good, you
questions,
are.
if that's okay?
Oh, I actually have a bunch. I'll just come back to you when I've got even more, because I know I'm going to have a lot to talk to you about this hour. Rebecca?
A few more questions, please.
Let's see. Yes, starting here.
Do you know anything about hypnosis used on the Atlas course?
Are you sure you mean hypnosis or the power of persuasion?
What's the difference?
Not a lot. But if you want someone to do something, it's usually easier to ask
there-
nicely.
That's not
Atlas
hypnosis.
used persuasion techniques.
Well, don't all businesses use it, Inspector? Ever heard of advertising?
That's not hypnosis. It's not even close to the same.
Have you ever seen these?
It's Ryan's car. It got vandalised last year. His camera had been stolen, so I took pictures. Oh, whoever did it made a mess, didn't they?
But nobody was prosecuted for it.
Not that I remember. The insurance paid out, though.
Really? It paid
Thank
out
you.
because you had
Probably be back later.
horribly edited photos? I don't mean that. They look completely unconvincing. Alright, up the lane. Simone.
Ask you a couple more things, please.
Let's see.
What do you know about Ryan's guitar collection?
Not a whole lot. I know he brought a guitar to one of the groups once, at the end of one of the stages. That's the only time I've seen him with a guitar.
Alright, I promise not to say anything about
Have you
Emma's
seen
guilt to him.
these before?
No, don't know the car.
How about
That's all for the moment, thank you. Do you know anything about these?
Nope. Sorry.
Be back later on if that's okay.
Of course it's okay, Jinx. You get to come around whenever you want. Alright, we're gonna go to Atlas and have us a little chit-chat with Ryan again. Make sure he can't just kick us out of his room anymore. Very rude of him. I'm still not forgiving him.
A few more questions, if you don't mind.
Even if you do mind, I'm not happy about your treatment of me, sir.
Do you know what this is?
Well, I think it's a bag. Is it a bag, Inspector?
No,
shop.
it's a sack.
Oh, yes, the costume shop. Yes, we used to hire from them.
For the course?
Well, yes. For the course, at the end of each stage, we have a little party, and we ask students to dress up or try acting out being somebody new, their new selves, as it were.
Could you explain a bit more? New selves?
One of the main elements of the course is learning how to act, how to be.
How are you
whoever
not?
You need to
How are
be
you
in
not
any given
getting what the
situation.
course is for?
I think you'll
James?
agree, Inspector, that business is about being the
Come
right
on.
person in the right situation at the right time. What it does, it helps them to detach themselves, become somebody new, pretend. You know that kind of thing. It's surprising what a little bit of cross-dressing can do for you, Inspector. You should try it.
Not at this stage.
That's his choice. Jinx can choose for himself.
What do you know about your father's money-stealing stunt?
Oh, well, yes, that was something that Dan decided to do as part of the shock aspect of the course.
But he went too far, you believe.
He usually does.
And do you think it did have anything to do with Liam's death?
No. Liam wasn't like that at all. I mean, that was just a simple.
All of us ridiculing him.
coincidence.
That caused it.
Liam
I
had
mean,
his own problems, but he didn't have any problems with the money shock stunt. No.
So tell me more about this doll burning.
like, why
It's
do
a
you invite
symbolic
people to
ceremony
it and
we
then kick
perform
them out
every
of
few
it?
weeks on the course.
What's it about?
It's about burning your old personality and finding a new one, a better one.
So
Have
the
you
dolls
considered
are...
asking your father
you.
to do it?
They represent you from the past. Each doll has a picture of the student as a child or a teenager. And they burn the doll and symbolically destroy their old personality. It's quite simple but effective, I find.
And why did that girl shout?
Because it's an emotional thing. She's quite clearly become very attached to her doll. They do spend the first month with them. We tell them to take the doll everywhere with them before they actually go through the doll burning.
And you believe that's a good thing? Destroying your past?
Of course it's a good thing, Inspector. We're all shackled to our past, particularly you by the sound of it, perhaps.
Jinx does sound a
Perhaps we
little
should make it all
unwilling
of
to
you, Inspector, and
experience
burn that. What
change.
do you think?
No, thank you.
You're probably right. I'm not sure it would do any good anyway.
Oh!
I didn't realize you were a musician.
Oh, well, I'm not really a musician. I mean, I dabble a little bit. To be quite honest with you, I'm far more interested in collecting guitars.
You're not in a band.
Well, I did audition. I did audition a few years ago. When I say a few years ago, of course, I mean about 20 years ago. Doesn't time fly?
What band was that?
Oh, I can't remember. Something Stone. Aren't they all called something Stone? Hammerstone. That's it.
And you still collect?
I haven't bought a guitar for over a year. I feel I've moved on.
He's only got 3. Is 3 guitars a collection? I've got 3 guitars. I don't consider it a collection.
Can you tell me about auto-hypnosis?
Now, what would you like to know?
Do you use it on the course?
We dip into it occasionally, but it's not a major feature of the course. I would say that, well, a minority of the students know how to use it, but the majority wouldn't know, wouldn't have a clue.
It's not a requirement of the course.
No, not at all. We don't ask people to do things that they're not comfortable with. There's no bribery, no coercion. We're thinking about phasing auto-hypnosis
How could
out,
you push people to their
What's the reason for
limits
that?
without making them uncomfortable?
It doesn't actually work
I mean,
very well.
even school is designed to make you a little bit uncomfortable.
What do you know about Emma Bowman criticizing Liam before his suicide?
I was there, I witnessed it. Well, I know Emma blamed herself for his death.
Did she?
Well, she was upset and all of that, but I wouldn't blame her, Inspector. I really don't think she had anything to do with it at all.
You don't think?
Liam was a very confident person, very outgoing, very strong individual, or so it seemed. I mean, people are free to do what they like. Even something as irreversible as bumping themselves off. Sad though that is, of course.
No, I don't disagree with you. I don't think she had much to do with it. I don't think she had anything to do with it. I do think that... Oh, I can't ask you about... do you recognize this? Isn't that mine? Yes, I stole it from you.
Do you know what these are?
Oh, yes, that's my old car. It was vandalized. I took those for the insurance company. Where did you find those?
At the pub. You know who did this?
Yes. A girl called Lisa Blint. She was on the course, a very strange girl.
And why did she write the words devil worshippers all over your car?
Well, she was a very strange girl. She had a lot of psychological problems. I'm not entirely sure, Inspector. I mean, she took a dislike to the course for some particular reason. I couldn't quite put my finger on it. And she asked for a refund. I declined. And she decided to spray her disapproval all over my car.
Odd thing to spray, isn't it, though? Devil worshippers?
Well, she was a very odd girl, Inspector. Maybe she thought it was a way of getting back at us. I had no idea.
Did Rebecca know about it?
Well, yes, she did, but I wasn't about to unleash Rebecca on her. She can be quite fierce sometimes, you know. And I mean, the girl wasn't vindictive. She had psychological problems. She lives in the village, actually. The run-down house at the end of the lane. Can't miss it.
Really? Right, thank you.
Everybody lives in this village. Well, of course everybody that lives in this village lives in this village. That was a stupid comment. Alright.
Thank you. Probably be back later.
Let's go meet this Lisa.
Could that be where Lisa lives? Run-down house at the end of the lane. That's what Ryan said, wasn't it?
I mean, it doesn't look run down. Its hedges look large. That's about it.
Is it Lisa?
Yes.
Inspector Jenks, I'm investigating an incident in the village. I wonder if I could ask you a few questions.
What sort of incident?
I'd rather come in and discuss it if that's all right with you. I promise I won't take long.
And if it's not okay with her, Jinx?
I'll just go in here, yes?
I have to go out in a minute.
Oh, look, I can come back later.
I might not be here. What did you want to ask?
I just wanted to ask you, did you know Kate Vine?
No.
Right. Well, I heard that you're familiar with Atlas, the life skills training company.
What do you want to know about Atlas?
Where'd you hear that? Oh, no.
Well, I heard you reacted badly to it.
Of course I reacted badly. So would anyone.
Now, why do you say that?
Because they're devil worshippers.
Devil worshippers.
They're making demons appear. They're tricking everybody. They're getting people to join up. Then they're putting demons inside them.
Oh.
You can see them.
See who?
Demons.
Where could you see them?
In the mirrors.
At Atlas.
Any mirror. You can't get rid of them. They stay inside you.
So, how did you get rid of them?
Crazy.
I didn't.
She's gonna stab you.
You still see them?
Take a get out of there. This bitch is trouble.
I just don't look. I put all the lights on. I make sure it's all bright.
I'm joking.
I put them on.
Clearly, this character
And I need
has
to look in the
psychological
mirror.
issues, though. She does need help.
If I make sure everything is bright, I just see myself without seeing the other person.
Who is the other person?
She's like me, but older. It's like her eyes sink in. She's all wrinkled,
Well, that happens to all of us the older we
with a
get.
wrinkled mouth.
Just don't be
Like she's
ageist.
dying.
Well, we all are.
And then I realise I'm her.
That's not the worst things could be.
I'm not me anymore. I'm her. I'm sorry. I have to go now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. We really didn't want to spend more time here. I think she just left you in her house. I mean, you could at least stay and investigate. Oops. Hey, James. Why didn't you tell me you live next... That's your girlfriend, right? You two work each
Couple
other
more
up.
questions, if that's okay. Ever heard of auto-hypnosis, James? Self-hypnosis.
Yeah,
And what do you know about it?
it's another name for scrying. Some people call it auto-hypnosis, I call it scrying.
Right. So you're saying scrying is just self-hypnosis?
Scrying? You can scry on anything, I don't use a mirror. I can scry watching the clouds. Maybe the water on a lake in the moonlight.
And when you're watching the water, what happens? You go into a trance?
You lose yourself in your unconscious, you go deeper and deeper, you swim around. Try not to go too deep, because if you go too deep you start drowning. Then you get dragged down to the bottom. As long as you stay swimming, come to the surface again. Then you wake up and see the world as it really is. It's like a journey to a place people talk about, but no one's ever seen. You're thinking about Kate, aren't you?
What makes you say that?
That's why I'm here.
She bought a mirror. Sold her one last year.
Was she into using mirrors like that?
No idea. But she bought one.
Right.
Do you know anything about this flashlight I stole? Oh,
Know anything about these?
it's a replay.
Nope.
I don't need to do that again.
Do you know anyone who is interested in or involved with devil worship?
Have you met Lisa?
Which Lisa are you talking about?
Mad Lisa. Lives on her own, doesn't like mirrors.
Quaint, you calling
I've
her
met
Mad
You think
Lisa.
she's mad?
You can't look at yourself in the mirror without seeing ghosts. You've got problems, don't you think?
How do you know her?
She came to the farm for some eggs a couple of times. Got talking to her once, that's all.
And what did she tell you?
Came to...
Nothing
She's
much.
your neighbor. What do you mean she
Except
came
she
to
thought
the farm?
devil was after her.
What did you tell her?
Told her the devil needs a good reason to be after you. She was just like most people, really, blind to herself, except she was more extreme. That's all madness is. Being blind to yourself.
If that's an accurate description,
Thank
then
you.
most of the
Probably be back
world
later.
is pretty mad. Alright, now we're going to skip Paul. I want to talk to Paul last, because I know just how much I have to talk to him about this hour. And how fun it's going to be. Great. For now, we'll talk to Rebecca.
A few more questions, please. Thank you. Have you ever come across anyone interested in or involved with the occult?
As in black magic? No, why?
Atlas don't use occult techniques or anything like that?
Atlas? Not unless Ryan's got a secret he's not telling me about.
There's a missing contradiction.
Why, who's been talking?
Just a line of inquiry. Okay, thanks.
So, she says she doesn't know anyone involved with the occult, but where's that? Shoot. This one. She says that he spends his time casting spells in the woods. Isn't that what you would describe as someone involved with the occult? I think it should be.
That's all for the moment.
Maybe that's
Thank
just
you.
me though. All right, let's get out of here. We gotta go talk to Matt Smith. I feel bad for Matt Smith. I mean, I don't think Emma's a bad person, but she has been cheating on him regularly for quite some time. At least I think it's regularly. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's a one-time thing. Emma doesn't really seem the type of person to do that, though, so I don't know. Maybe Matt Smith has done something to her.
Ask you a couple more things, please.
What do you know about devil worship?
Devil worship? Where?
At Atlas.
Devil worship at Atlas? No, there's none of that.
Be back later on, if that's okay.
Simon is our rock. He's only lied to us once. We called him out on it, and he hasn't done it since. That we know of.
Have you ever heard about there being devil worship at Atlas?
Devil worship? No. Definitely not. Who said that?
It's just something I heard. Okay, thanks.
Okay, that's it for now. Thank you.
Who would do that? To be fair, she's not a credible source. She doesn't seem credible. She seems unstable at best. Alright, let's get inside this building. Nah, we don't need to go back in there. We need to talk to Ryan again.
Just a few more questions, if you don't mind.
Has devil worship ever been part of the course, Ryan?
Am I correct in assuming that
Subtitles
you
were
have
messed up
spoken
there.
to Lisa Blind?
You
We
would
did.
be. She's been telling me all about the Atlas obsession with Satanism, Ryan.
Then if you've met Lisa Blind, then you will have worked out for yourself that she has a very vivid imagination. She also has psychological problems, diagnosed psychological problems, as a matter of fact.
So where did she get the idea
how do
that
you know
lot
they're
were,
diagnosed?
devil worshippers?
I really have no idea. The girl is insane. She's frightened of her own shadow, bless her. She actually thinks that demons are possessing her even now. You really can't trust a word she says.
Well,
So
that doesn't
you
mean
are
we need
saying
to
there
ridicule
has
her.
never been any devil worship
She needs
at
help.
Atlas?
I don't even know what devil worship is, Inspector. It's not something I particularly know anything about. I certainly don't recall anyone ever having worshipped the devil at Atlas. We even tried to help the poor girl by paying for some treatment, but she didn't want it.
Really?
It's not easy to offer someone help when they think that you're the problem.
That's true. Sir, you have lied to me yet again. Where's that mask? Oh, no. I don't. Yes, here. Aha!
So you used to read a lot about voodoo and satanic rituals, but you don't know anything about devil worship?
Well, obviously, I just meant we don't worship the devil. We're not devil worshippers here at Atlas, Inspector.
ridiculous.
But the point is, Ryan, that you claim not to know anything about it, but admitted you were obsessed with it when you were younger. Are you sure none of that made its way onto the Atlas course? And that Lisa isn't basing her beliefs on anything within that course?
Lisa isn't basing her beliefs on anything other than her own imagination, Inspector. Look, we do use some techniques that some students find difficult, disturbing. We encourage them to see things differently, that's all. And some people simply aren't up to that. Some people, like Lisa, that's why we introduced the aptitude test.
What's the aptitude test?
This.
I have it right over here.
We ask students to fill in an aptitude test, medical history, psychological issues, that kind of thing, any medication that they have used in the past, any medication that they currently are using. Here, take a look. Basically, it's just to try and make sure that we don't get another Lisa.
Has it
Sounds
worked?
like your legal
Well, touch wood
department
so far,
suggested it
I
to
keep a
you.
copy of this.
I wonder how much importance they actually give to this test. And what are they doing that's so disturbing anyway?
Well, Jinx, it's probably somewhere between mind control, devil worship, and just trying to create ruthless business people. Through the woods we go. You guys want to see something funny? Look at it. Look at it. It's been 4 hours. They're still just standing there. Still just standing there. What are they doing? They're not even moving. Move! Move! Freaks. Alright. Let's go talk to Paul, because let me tell you guys something. This is one of my favorite hours, because we get to call Paul out on a lot of BS right now. We're going to get to really rub it in his face.
Ask about a few more things, please.
We asked him about that. Ah, yes, we start here.
What can you tell me about doll burning at Atlas?
Not very much. It's one of Ryan's ideas. My son is under the illusion that he's a genius.
I'm surprised your son can do anything at all. He does not have a positive male role model in his life.
Does Ryan play the guitar?
Ryan? Ryan couldn't get a tune out of a radio. He's
See?
tone deaf.
Okay,
Terrible.
so he's never tried to go professional.
If he did try, it was never going to happen.
Just makes me feel slightly bad for Ryan.
Can you tell me more about the auto-hypnosis techniques used on the course?
We don't use hypnosis on the course.
Not at all.
Not anymore.
So, how was it used?
Hypnosis is probably the wrong word, Inspector. It's nothing to do with the trances or things like that. It was meant to force... to help students.
Did you force them?
You can't force anybody into being hypnotized. You have to want to be hypnotized. It's not something out of your control. You can't be hurt or damaged in any way by hypnosis.
So you've never put pressure on students to enter into hypnosis?
It would be impossible to do so.
I don't believe in hypnosis. I don't believe you can get hypnotized even if you want to be. I think you have to actually believe in it for it to affect you, and that's only because it's like a psychosomatic reaction to it, not because it's actually a real thing.
Do you think Emma's criticism of Liam on that last night led to his suicide?
I doubt it helped.
Did you encourage Emma to criticize him?
I didn't encourage Emma to do anything. I merely told her what we tell every student to do, to express themselves as they want to. It would be out of order to criticize them after that, wouldn't it? However, I didn't expect
No, it wouldn't.
to criticize his birthmark, if that's what it was. That's a decision she took herself.
So you didn't know her well?
No, not at all.
Do you know what these are?
Yes, that's Ryan's car. Another toy he managed to ruin. It was vandalized sometime last year.
I don't
You know
think
who did
he
it?
ruined it there.
I don't believe anybody was ever prosecuted for it.
So down on your son. Almost like you have to keep him
Do you
down
know
to keep
anything
yourself
about
up.
devil worship, Paul?
I beg your pardon?
Devil worship? Satanism?
Paganism.
Am I missing something here?
I heard Atlas had elements of Satanism on the course.
You were misinformed. We're a training company, we're not devil worshippers. What kind of a question is that?
So you've no interest in the occult?
No, Inspector, I have no interest in the occult any more than I have interest in pole vaulting, cheese making, or snake charming. Anything else you want to know that I'm not interested in?
That's fine, thanks.
No, I'll pass. I don't care to hear you speak all that much, if I'm being honest.
Can you tell me a bit about this, please? It's the Atlas aptitude test.
What do you want to know?
What does it test, exactly?
It's a test we introduced to make sure that any students didn't have any major personality problems, skeletons in the cupboard, so to speak. We introduced it because we had a little bit of a problem with one of the students.
Lisa.
You are well informed.
And what do you think it was that disturbed her?
I believe that the course proved to be too demanding for her. We discovered that she had one or two psychological problems and she couldn't handle it.
And did you change anything else on the course apart from introducing the test?
We increased the entrance age to 21. Well, wasn't much, but it's about the only thing we could do. We didn't want another Lisa. We didn't want students turning around and suing us, did we?
All right, sir. Now comes the fun parts.
Aha. So nobody has ever been affected by auto-hypnosis, except Lisa.
Hypnosis wasn't the problem, Inspector. Lisa was the problem with Lisa. That's why we introduced the test.
But the hypnosis was the trigger, wasn't it?
Lisa arrived on the course believing we were all devil worshippers. She was nuts to start with. We didn't make her like that.
Well, as far as I can tell, Paul, you've had one student accuse you of devil worship and two others commit suicide. Some of your students aren't having a very good time on this course, are they?
Nonsense. Kate was enjoying every minute of it. She couldn't get enough of it.
Really?
She was full of the joys of life. Bubbly, confident, flirty.
With who?
You mean with whom?
With whom?
Pretty much everybody. Including me, as I remember.
Really? And, did you respond?
I don't get into relationships with students, Inspector. Company policy. It's not professional.
Oh, but sir!
Interesting admission that Kate flirted with him. There's no way Paul would have turned down an opportunity like that.
There it is. Now we come here. Wait, that's not it? I could have swore that was it. Oh no. I look a fool now. Really, that's not it? I thought it was. Shoot. Is it? My brain's not working. Oh no. Okay. That's I couldn't remember
You
it.
say you didn't know Emma, yet you bought her a freedom necklace.
I don't remember saying anything about buying Emma a necklace.
So you didn't buy her one? So you did buy her one. So that means you must have known her, and quite well too.
Stop making such a big thing about this, Inspector. Look, I've been around a few years. The clock is ticking. And I admit I have an embarrassing weakness for attractive women. It was
Doesn't everybody have a weakness for the people they find
That's
attractive?
all it was.
So
Why
you're
is that
saying
embarrassing?
You tried it on with her.
No, I didn't try it on. I bought her a necklace. I'm not aware that there's a law against buying presents unless, of course, the Third Reich has been elected while I was at a bridge party.
Well, you know
And
what they
old
say
enough to
about
make
your argument when you
decisions
have to
for
bring up
herself.
Nazis.
And as a matter of fact, she decided that she didn't want to be bothered with an old fool like me. So nothing happened, no mistakes, nobody got hurt. All right.
Like father, like son.
Now-
No surprises there. I wonder how many students Paul has tried it on with.
Ah, yes, there it is.
Aha.
So you avoid relationships with students, except for Emma, who you tried to date.
Oh, come on, Inspector, that was a long time ago.
And what about Kate Vine? Did you try to date her or not?
Oh, don't be so ridiculous, Inspector. Kate was an exceptionally clever girl. She knew exactly what she wanted, and she knew how to get it.
I mean, she
You
wasn't
mean
interested in you.
Kate approached you.
It wouldn't surprise me if she was playing everyone in the group. Kate had more enemies than you'd think. She was a very, very manipulative young woman.
The accusations.
10 o'clock, it's getting late. I'm gonna have to pick up the pace if I'm gonna solve this by midnight.
Alright, folks, that's the end, and now we're at 10 p.m. What do you think? We've finally been able to call Paul out on his BS and rub it in his face a bit. I've enjoyed it. I hope you have too. If you have, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you want to see the next episode, go ahead and subscribe. I love all of you, and remember, the stash isn't a hair on your lip, it's the source of your power.